Black to go, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Johnny.
Hi. I heard the cops are hassling you again.
Oh, they took me down to the station, asked me some questions about Brandon's death. It wasn't a big deal.
Well, cops always have a tendency to make it bigger down the line. Is your attorney with you?
Diane Miller. Yeah, she met me at the station. Got Detective Domestico to back off, so...
Well, Diane's good, don't get me wrong, but protecting Sonny's best interest is always going to be number one with her. If you should ever find yourself in need of an attorney again, let me know, free of charge.
That's very generous. But I have to wonder, why have you taken such an interest?
You were an excellent employee. I want to take care of you.
What's going on?
I was just checking in on Abby, making sure cops weren't giving her too hard of a time over this whole Brandon Lowell thing.
Actually, she's taking the brunt of it. Cops hauled her in for questioning.
Well, Brandon's my ex. Of course, the police are going to ask me questions about his death.
Well, like I said, my attorney's your attorney, okay?
Yeah.
You know, actually, that might be a conflict of interest, considering that she also defended Brandon. But Diane Miller's got it handled right now, but thank you.
I know Sonny and Jason think I'm working some sort of hidden agenda here, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I legitimately want to help. If my efforts have made this situation any worse, I apologize. That was never my original intention.
No, you've been good to me even before I had a connection to Michael. So I know that at least part of this comes from a sincere place. But I also know that you and Michael's father don't get along.
Well, that's an understatement. Sonny should burn in hell for what he did to my sister, but there's no way I'm going to use Michael as retribution. If I've overstepped my bounds, all you guys got to do is say the word, and I'm done. I'm gone.
Look, you could have asked the judge to put me away for life for taking your sister's life. But you didn't, and that says a lot. So does the way you've been helping Abby out.
If there's anything I can do, just let me know.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
Things are pretty rough for you and your family, huh?
Yeah, you have a gift for understatement, you know that?
Hey, it's called tact. Take it where you can get it from me. You here for work?
Yeah, that seems to be the all-purpose solution. You know, Lucky and Lulu are back at their jobs full-time. I would go tend bar, but Luke is holed up at the Star, so I doubt we're gonna open anytime soon. I probably shouldn't go far, though. You know, someone needs to stick around and save Luke from his darker impulses, but I have a surprisingly low tolerance to watch a man self-destruct.
That bad, huh?
You know, I took Maya to Vegas for a week. I thought it was going to be a perfect week. And then I get home and I find out that Luke killed Lucky's 4-year-old.
Well, from what I understand, it's an accident, right?
Oh, yeah, no, you do understand it, so do I. But Luke can't see it. You know, I sat there and listened to him talk about how, yeah, anyone could have hit Jake, but Luke Spencer should have seen a 4-year-old in a dark road. This is, Lucky and Tracy are convinced that it's because of his drinking.
What about you? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I know Luke can hold his liquor, you know, unless he decides not to, but that accident, man, it changed him profoundly. You know, he's in a bad way, and I have no idea what to do for him. You know, I mean, I'm not very familiar with how to deal with a family, you know, so what does someone do in this situation?
You're barking up the wrong tree, pal. I got a sister who's dead because she tried to kidnap a newborn and a father serving a life term in Pentonville. You're asking the wrong guy. What about your wife?
Well, Maya's gone. And I have no idea when she's coming back.
You know, I can honestly see Johnny thinking that this is a...
Be the bearer of bad news, but that seems to be all there is regarding the Brandon Lowell murder investigation.
I thought you shut Ronnie down.
I did shut him down. I shut his line of questioning down. I got Abby out of the police station before Detective Domestico had a chance to do any real damage. But all the legal maneuvering in the world will not hide the fact that Abby has no alibi for the time of the murder. And neither does Michael. Neither do you.
The police
For that matter.
won't find any evidence connecting us to Brandon's murder.
I have no doubt about that. but they're still going to treat you as a suspect. And while that may be routine for you, Abby and Michael are far less well-versed in the art of keeping their mouths shut. So please, just tell me, clearly, concisely, what happened? Who, hypothetically speaking, killed Brandon Lowell?
It wasn't me.
That should make my job easier. But it doesn't. Tell me there is someone who saw you the night of the murder and can vouch for your whereabouts.
Diane, I didn't really feel like being around anybody. So I got on my bike and rode up to Loganville.
I'm sorry. I am. I don't mean to be insensitive. All right, let's talk about Michael. Is there any possibility that Michael, hypothetically, murdered Brandon Lowell?
Michael didn't do it. Okay, he's got no reason to lie to me.
Yes, but he might lie if he were protecting someone else. The woman he loves, for instance.
What if Jason and your dad are right? What if Johnny's working us?
Well, I thought you trusted Johnny.
Well, he's always been good to me. But listening to the way that he talked about your dad, and that anger in his eyes, made me wonder if he does have an agenda.
When Brandon's body turned up dead, Johnny gave us a heads up so we wouldn't be blindsided by the cops asking questions. And he also offered to have the Bonds employees back our story.
Well, that's what I mean, though. I mean, Johnny didn't care whether we were involved in Brandon's death or not. He jumped right in and was willing to provide an alibi. Doesn't that seem a little strange to you?
You were attacked right down the street from his club. I am sure he feels the same way that I do. That Brandon got what he deserved. No one should be punished for stopping that bastard.
Don't let what Brandon did to me cloud your judgment. If there's any chance that Johnny is doing this to us to try to one-up your dad...
He's not.
How can you be sure?
Johnny has always been decent to me. Mainly because he knows what it's like to have a father in the business and how it changes your life. That's something that not a lot of people understand, which is probably why he's offering to help. But we have a lot more in common than I actually thought we did.
That's what worries me. You know, Johnny's carrying around all this anger from his sister, letting it consume his life. I don't want that to happen to you. Brandon is dead. He can never hurt me again.
You want to make sure no one else can ever again, too.
I think you look at joining the mob as a way to protect me. But you also see it as a way to prove yourself to your dad.
Yeah, my dad thinks I'm too weak to handle the business. That I'm too weak to run things. All I want is his respect.
When I look at you, you know what I see? An incredibly strong, decent man with the biggest heart of anyone I know. I know it sounds selfish, but I just don't want you to ever change.
All right, what do you know about Abby Haver?
Okay, look. Abby's been good for Michael. He's been carrying a lot of anger since he left Pentonville. He loses his temper a lot. He gets into a lot of fights, and Abby has actually helped him work through that.
Okay, how did they meet?
Sam introduced her to Michael.
Sam introduced your teenage nephew to a stripper.
Look, she's working at Vaughn's to put herself through school. Abby's had a tough life. She's just trying to make a better one for herself. That's all she's trying to do.
Yes, but you don't know anything about her, Jason.
Yeah, but I know that she helps Michael, and she's a good person.
Who has suffered for years at the hands of an abusive boyfriend. Now, Abby would not be the first woman to stand up, find the courage, and say no more to her attackers. So, it's possible that Michael and Abby are involved in this murder together, and now they are covering for each other. It's a worst-case scenario, Jason, but it's one we have to consider.
When you look at Jason, you can't even tell what he's thinking, or feeling for that matter. I don't want the business to do that to you. To turn you into someone who keeps himself so closed off from everyone.
It won't.
How can you be sure?
Because I won't let it.
Your dad and Johnny have those same walls up, Michael. I mean, I'm sure it's a survival instinct, but it's no way to live. I'm sorry. The last thing you need is another lecture. I'm sorry.
I don't feel that you're lecturing me.
Really? Because I feel like I sound like a broken record telling you how to live your life.
I appreciate that you care. That's amazing, okay? But I have to do what I think is right.
Even if it means getting you killed?
I'm not denying that the business is dangerous. It is. It's extremely dangerous. No, but life is dangerous. You look at Jake. Jason made the safe choice and he gave Jake up so he could have a chance at a normal childhood, and it didn't matter. He still died. You cannot go through life trying to stop bad things from happening. They happen. All you can do is make the most with the time that you're given. And if Johnny can do that for me, why shouldn't I let him?
Maya got a call from her family in Philadelphia. She said they needed her back there and she couldn't say why. So I drove her to the airport right after we got back from Vegas, and all I've had since are emails and text messages.
You worried about her?
No, I'm worried about me. If her marriage had started out being just about money, I've come to care about that woman.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying I lean on her or anything like that, but I'd much rather open up a vein to her than to you.
You have my deepest sympathies. How about I pour you a drink, huh?
Actually, you know what? I'm okay.
What, you cutting back, Ethel?
No, it's just the last drink I had, I was with Luke. And I went to my car, drive home, and I froze. You know, I just stood there in the parking lot, and I started thinking about how I drink casually and how I can hold my liquor, and then I just kept picturing myself driving in that car down that road.
Okay, now there's something I can speak to. Taking on your father's sins yourself. I mean, look at me. I got this cuckoo-magoo murderer for a father, right? That doesn't make me one. And you, whether Luke was driving drunk or not, regardless, that does not make you an alcoholic.
Well, I know you're right, intellectually. And I'm sure before long, I'll be back to my old self. It's just, I just keep seeing Luke's face. You know, his eyes, it's like he's gone. They're empty, you know. I lost his confidence. Anyway, enough about that. Please, what's this job?
Well, I may have something opening up very soon. I'll call you if it comes through.
Yeah, no, please, you have my cell.
I do. I got one question for you, though.
Okay, name it.
Are you opposed to training somebody new?
Is this new person gonna get me shot and killed?
He won't. His family might. Michael Corinthos may soon be coming to work for me.